really do have a golden opportunity.
Yeah, if you could get a 3-game lead with a week and a half to go, that's a big, big lead in a division race, Jim. Maybe dark and dreary outside, but the sun definitely shining for the Phils. With the Pirates losing today in Chicago, a Phils victory tonight in Montreal would mean a 3-game lead over both the Expos and Buccos. Things are looking mighty good for the guys in the red and white pinstripes right now. They looked good last night at the Vet, all sorts of heroes. You had Sixto Lizcano, who came from San Diego in time for the all-important stretch drive, and he did the job. You had Gary Maddox, who bounced back from recent inactivity like a well-oiled machine. Von Hayes has taken a lot of heat this year, but he's been a fine pinch hitter the last few evenings. And there is the ageless Joe Morgan, who just tore up the Cubs 2 nights in a row. Bo Diaz helped as well. Mike Schmidt says the team has to continue total team effort to beat Montreal.
If we go up there and we get our pitching that we've gotten of recent, not only of recent, of the whole year, keep us in the ball game. Joe's hot. We got a few guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark. We're rallying. We got a good, good feeling offensively right now. And I can say this is as good a time as any for us to go to Montreal.
Okay, Schmitty, to set the stage for tonight at Olympic Stadium, it'll be young Charles Hudson against Charlie Lee. The Expos have won 6 of their last 10. The Phillies are even hotter, taking 8 of their last 10. All right, the Pirates went for 8 of their last 11 today in Chicago, and former Philly Ryne Sandberg had a costly error. That set the stage for former Philly Richie Hebner, and the Hacker made it 6-5 Pirates at that point today at Wrigley. But then Larry Boa, he would come in to win the game after Jody Davis had tied the game right there. That made it 6-6. But as I mentioned, all sorts of former Phillies involved, and here's the final one. Watch the infield hit. Larry Boa still has the good speed. The Pirates lose 7-6 as the ex-Phils did the job. Last week on Action News, Gary Poppett told you that Earl Curitan was having some disagreements with his new team in Italy. The disputes apparently got more and more serious. Earl the Twirl has left the team, and he'll most likely be back in the NBA this fall. But will he be a Sixer? The Sixers have withdrawn the offer made before Earl went to Europe. They're making a new offer for less money, and they're also considering a trade. Stay tuned on that front. Last night in Hartford, this was the scene, and when Siltanen scored, it went to Whalers 5, Flyers 1. But the Flyers will rally, and when Paul Holmgren scores in the late going, it will all of a sudden go 5-5. Now, there's a 5-minute overtime in the NHL this season, and Ron Sutter wins it for the Flyers 6-5 in preseason hockey last night. Well, we might have some real football weather at the Vet at long last this weekend when the Eagles host the St. Louis Cardinals. After lots of days of practicing in 90-degree weather and even some games under those conditions, the mist felt pretty good this afternoon. The Eagles don't want to overlook the Cardinals, even though they're 0-3. And Herm Edwards scouts St. Louis for us tonight.
Well, they have a real balanced attack. Basically, they like to run the ball and they like to do a lot of play passing. They have some big people up there on their offensive line, and they have some good running backs. Stump Mitchell came in there last year and ran all over the place. So they have some fine running backs, and Stump, he's not even the starter. O.J. Anderson is the starter, and Wayne Morris is the fullback. And then their passing attack, they have Roy Green and Pat Tilley, which is both fine receivers, so they have a productive offensive football team.
Okay, Herman, very quickly, the Australians won today in the America's Cup, so it's 3-2 Liberty and the Americans in the best of 7.
All right. Okay. Coming up on Action News tonight, Phyllis Burke really milks a story dry. Jim O'Brien has that 5-day from AccuWeather. That and more when we continue.